Hello and welcome to the Cold Coffee Club, a podcast brought to you by Houston moms. We're here to give you a little bit of that mom-to-mom connection, fun, and conversation amidst all the chaos. Join us as we take a break from doing all the things and explore the wide spectrum of this crazy motherhood role. We'll interview fun guests, talk about cool grown-up topics, laugh, share, and grow together. So go ahead, reheat that coffee, and put your feet up. Here we go.
Hello. Welcome back to the Cold Coffee Club.
Hi, good morning. This is Jenny. How are you doing, Ashley?
I'm doing so well. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so tell me what's going on. How's your week going? Spill the tea. Tell me about your mom wins and fails.
Yes. So great week so far. It's, hanging in there. But my mom win is that we successfully went on a visit to Austin to visit my dad and his family. And it was not miserable. We functioned, we held it together. We watched, my van has a TV screen, so they got to watch movies, and there was minimal complaining. So
okay,
we're good.
Okay.
And it was
three children in a car. Okay, and that's the thing too. It's like that is to go like there and back. Sometimes they're like, I don't want to get back in the car, but that is really great.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yay.
Knocking out with your three boys. Did you have to, sorry, something in my throat. Did you have to like have multiple bathroom breaks on the way, or were you able to like straight shot it?
We straight shot it. Yes. Yeah.
Look
I
at
was like,
them,
please
little
go potty before we
men.
leave. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, come on, guys, we can do this. And I was like, does anyone, I kept asking, do we need to go potty? And they're like, no, we're fine. I'm like, I was just half expecting you to start asking me for something. So
I love it. Okay. We did not prepare for this question, but I want to know, like, what is your like road trip snack? Like what, if you go to a gas station to get a snack for the road, like, what do you get?
Oh gosh. I'm a big fan of Gardettos in the car.
Oh
yeah. That's my go-to. Yeah. What about you? What's your road trip?
I always get a Diet Coke, and then I get like something salty, like either chips or pretzels, and then I get peanut M&Ms.
Interesting.
Not like, I mean, I'll eat them in whatever order, but like those are, if I get two snacks, those are my two snacks.
Awesome.
Something salty and peanut M&Ms.
Right.
It's kind of fun.
So that was a big win for us, but my fail was that I really wanted to order food, and I went online and I started to do the order, and I paid for it without looking at what location. I thought my phone just defaulted to the one nearest me. It was like 29 minutes away. I was like, what? The location I know of is 5 minutes away. What is happening? And I realized I went to the wrong location. I was like, I'm picking up for Ashley. And they're like, we don't have an order. And I'm like, you better, because I paid for it.
You're like, you do. Yes, you do. I love it.
So then I had to go to the other location, which was a drive. And of course, it'd been sitting there for a minute because I was so late having to drive there. I was like,
my gosh.
Are you kidding me?
Isn't that lovely? Oh my gosh.
Technology makes life great. And sometimes it just leaves you hanging like, oh yeah, we know there's one right by you, but we're going to go to that one. Yep. That's
great.
So yeah, good times. So how have you been lately?
I'm doing all right. And, we're wrapping up a school year and kind of just plowing through all of that mess. And I mean, mess is the wrong word. It's just like end of the year stuff where it's like you start to pile up like all the dates of like end of the year this and recital that. And, it's just all piling up. My calendar is beginning to overwhelm me a little, but we're going to be okay. Yeah. But today we have a really fun guest. We have a conversation with Chita Craft, and you have seen Chita on your TVs. Chita is a meteorologist from KHOU Channel 11. We love Channel 11. We love Chita. Chita is a mom of two, and Ashley has a great conversation with her. So here is Ashley's conversation with Chita.
Good morning, Chita. Thank you so much for joining the Cold Coffee Club. How are you today?
Hey, good morning. I'm excited to be here. I love your name of podcast.
Thank you so much. Speaking of coffee, do you drink coffee?
Too much. You know what? Years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I got off of coffee. I thought, I don't want to be this person that needs coffee every day to wake myself up. And I don't know, the past 2 years, after 2 kids, I am such a coffee drinker. I cannot go without it now. I'm that person. I'm like, oh, I've got to get off of my kick. It's too much.
I totally get it. So tell us about your family first off.
Well, like you, I have little ones, and my family is so fun. My family is full of life. We all have a lot of energy. We're all ready to be on the go. I have 2 kids, a son who is 5 years old. He turned 5 in March. And then I have a daughter who is 2. She's almost 2.5 really. And we are so excited. We just completed potty training about ago. And so I don't know how you felt, but that accomplishment of like, okay, we're slowly doing away with diapers is exciting in my book. But yeah, I have 2 little ones, and they're a joy, a struggle, all the things. But that's our life, and 2 is it for us. That is all we will ever talk about.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with such an amazing career, how do you find balance, raising your adorable family and doing everything that you do?
You're so sweet. Oh my goodness. I know. And you know what, when you say career, I used to always feel like kind of weird about that, hesitant to say that. I have been at KHOU in July 11 years. Last year was my 10-year anniversary. I can't believe it. So I know time goes by so fast, especially with kids, but everything there, it's so funny. I always say everything works until it doesn't. Like everything can be so great and seamless, and my hours can work with my family. It can be really family conducive, where even though I wake up really early, I'm finished really early. And so it does allow me to do the afternoon pickup, take my kids to their activities after school, to kind of really hear about their school day. I mean, it calls for a 2:30 a.m. wake up call. So it's harsh, but I do love the fact that I get to pick my son up. And so at 5, you get a little more conversation there. You get, I'm starting to kind of hear the stories that happen at school and that sort of thing. So, and I love that, because sometimes I feel like by the time my husband walks in the door by 6 o'clock, the afternoon has already been kind of gone. So I love what I do and the hours that I do for that reason. I love that I can kind of have my feet in both areas of life, where I can still do something that I've always wanted to do work-wise, but then I can also have my family. But it's also really hard. I mean, like I said, it all works until it doesn't. Once a child gets sick, once, my husband has to stay a night or 2 out. Once I'm really busy with work, we have additional things that we're doing. My hours become really late and I'm just tired, that's when it's like, okay, we got to rethink this plan. But it doesn't happen all the time. But when it happens, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And that's when I'm like, okay, you know what? We need to scale back, limit kind of what extra things we are doing, that sort of thing. But I really do love both worlds. I really do. So I try to be in the moment for each one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was kind of shocked at the 2:30 a.m. wake up call. That's kind of where I
know, it's like, I know.
Yes. Oh God.
You lost me. I thought we were saying, you're like, we're not the same.
We're not the same.
It requires a lot of discipline. My life and the structure of it. I mean, I love to watch a TV show live or see a performance live on TV. They just had the Grammys. It was so hard for me to call it bedtime. I was dying to see it all, but that's what DVR is for. So I record a ton of stuff. I kind of watch it on my own time, but my life requires me to stay disciplined at night. I can have as much fun as I want until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it's like, okay, that's when, like, by 5:30, 6 o'clock, we're winding it down. And we've always had a very structured bedtime. Families who are really cool that are like, when they're little, they go to bed when they're tired. And that is not me. I am like, man, 7 o'clock, my 2-year-old is in bed. I am out of her room by 7:15 and I'm in the bed. And then my husband puts my son down, who's 5. at 8. I think sometimes they stay up a little 8:30. I don't know, but I try to you could watch that a little bit closer. But yeah, they help me out there. So he kind of puts him down a little bit later, but I try to be in the bed, which sounds crazy, but like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I love it.
It's crazy, but that's me. That's
yeah.
But yeah, it requires just a little more discipline, I think, at night, like that Sunday night through Thursday, and then all bets are off for the weekend.
Love it. So as like a recognized figure in the community, like how does that affect how you mother? Like, does that take any effect on like what you post on social media or anything like that?
That is a really good question. It really is. I think for me personally, it never has. Okay. Gosh, I say this, but no, I've always felt safe. I've never felt like that did play. Now I will say, being open about this, my husband did. When our son was first born, like any new mom, you're posting your kid all the time. And he got to the point, but I got lucky because 2017, when he was born, I think the stories had just come out where you could post on Instagram stories and it would go away, where it wasn't like this hard post. So that was an issue. That actually was a thing between us, because I am like, to me, there's going to be safety issues if you're, a public figure at a small level or at a big level. I'm like, but also there's safety issues like just being, just internet and the park or whatever, like what you can do. So I have never felt that way, but my husband did. And we talked about it. That was a thing out of respect for him at the time. I thought, okay, so I didn't really post a lot. I actually didn't. I would do it on my story. So that was kind of my way to still like show my family who live out of state, or even my friends, like the baby and all the stuff. And then all of a sudden it got to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to post this child every day anyway. So it has become a non-issue. Okay. I don't think that I do post them all the time, but I don't know if it's like necessarily for security reasons or anything like that. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I probably could post more. And, some people have asked like, hey, what park is that from like people will send me direct messages and they'll say, hey, what park is that? That's really cool. We've never seen the structure of the planets or something like that. Or they'll say, oh, what museum is that? We haven't seen, the butterfly exhibit or something, or whatever it is, wherever we are. So then I'll message them. But sometimes I'm like, maybe I should, because just like other bloggers, like the mom bloggers, when I see where y'all are out with your kids or where you're eating, I'm like, what a great idea. I didn't even know this place existed. So sometimes I think that social media with kids or yourself, I love it because it's a connecting bond with like a stranger. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I love that too. Or like I follow different foodies around Houston and I'm like, oh, I've never even heard of this spot. I love that. It looks, cool and different or whatever. So, but no, I probably don't. I do think I probably post more in myself, and I still kind of have Lane, my husband, in the back of my mind, like, okay, I don't post them every day, but I just don't know if I would anyway.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I don't think so. And I don't think like if we're messy and we're taking like a family photo and something it's okay to me. I'm like, they're kids, it is what it is, but so no, maybe it should, maybe I should care more. I don't know.
I love that you share a lot about your family, and it's fun watching them grow. I saw that post a few days ago. I don't know if it was in your stories or not, but your daughter was eating chocolate in the car.
Yes, exactly. I love that kind of stuff. Like I die when other people say, yes, we let her, those, they're the chocolate eggs at the grocery store, right? Yeah. When you check out, there's always those orange and white. They look like an egg.
Yeah.
My kids every time, of course, want those. Out of all the candy, though, I'm like, you don't want a Skittle or a Snicker,
right.
Always these eggs. So anyway, they get it, but you have to scoop it. And so for her, it was just everywhere. But it's cute. I love that kind of stuff.
So cute. So cute.
I don't know.
So, I know that you have kind of a different schedule than most of us working moms, but do you have any advice for, you seem to kind of really have a handle on how to balance it all and find time with your kids and, be a great professional. What advice would you give our listeners for just finding a way to make it work?
kind of like you, I always love to listen to what other people do. And I truly do. Like, sometimes I feel like y'all are the experts. You're the mom blog, I'm like, you tell us, but no, I did hear this and it has always stuck with me that, and you can use this as a metaphor or literally opening a door to like the office or your home. When you open that door, be present in the place that you are in. Like once you close the door, close whatever was, that happened previously. Like if it was a great morning, I really try to put my attention with my kids. And it's hard. It really is. Because even when I say that, there are some days I'm tired. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. We've had severe weather. I have really been on, and it is hard. We have a part-time nanny in the morning. And if I have really late hours, she can help pick up the kids, but otherwise it's really just me until my husband comes back. And, he has a full-time job, so he's busy in his world. So it is a lot. It's really, really hard. And I think so many times I have to remind myself like, okay, close whatever just happened, really be present, really focus, give my best energy to the kids. And it's hard. Especially when it's every day, it doesn't let up. And so I hate to try to use crutches like either, or a show or an iPad. Like I really try to play games or continue to have them paint or write or do things that are more interactive, or go on a great walk or find the park when it's a pretty day, because I do think too, also, so the closing of the door is number one. I think that is a great advice, because sometimes, even with your phone, if you don't have to answer it, now sometimes jobs are different, you kind of, everybody has different jobs. But I think as much as you can kind of limit the times, so it is more of a structured day. I know with COVID, it was really hard because everything kind of bled, all day parts and everything at home and everything else. But I think that it's really important to kind of focus in. Work is for work. That is that time. Home and kids are for this, and kind of prioritize. But I do think, honestly, it is a mood booster when you are doing something interactive with your family. It will change even your mindset. Like, even if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I just, have a lot on me. I have this or that, pressures of different things in your life. Once you start like walking and you're at a park or you're doing something fun, you're riding a bike, you're painting, like those are the simple kind of things. We play Uno, like, I don't know, a million times a day. We have these matching card games that we do. And I find myself, I'm like, I'm really enjoying it. And my perspective and mood has totally changed.
Yeah.
It's weird. So I don't know. I guess that would be my biggest advice, is to like really plug in, no matter what you're doing. If it's at work and you're concerned about your child at school, your child, whatever the elements are, I try to really stay mindful at work and leave the stress and the worry or, with things that I can't control.
Right.
So I really focus at each part, but it's hard. It just is. It's really hard. And if you catch me on a different day, it's a different answer. It is, it's just like some days I'm like, wow, look at me, I'm crushing it. Like, look at this. I'm dialing it. And other days I'm like, this is not working. Something has to give. I'm like, either kids have to go, my job has to go, like something has to go,
That's the name of the game with motherhood.
Hard. It really is. I sometimes I think that, and even to my own mom, I'm like, why did you not prepare me for how difficult this would be? Everybody talks about the delivery or your pregnancy. It's like that. No, all day I would handle that. It's the 18 years after that, we'll keep night, but yeah, so it's hard. It just is. And I don't think until you're really in the thick of it, do you realize how so many of your decisions that you're just doing the best you can are what, shapes them, and they're going to remember. And all the things that I'm like, I look at my parents, I'm like, I can't believe you didn't know. I'm like, actually, I'm really grateful, or what. Different, and you're in it. So, I wish I had something really better for you, but I try to listen to others too, and how they balance. I think a lot from each other.
No, I think that's incredible. The closing the door and really just honing in on what you're doing at that time. I love that. That's actually really helpful, because that's something I should probably work on.
No, I heard that and I thought, what a great metaphor. If there's obviously no door, but obviously there really is. You're like, okay, here I am. Let's be present. Give my best wherever you're at. I know.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Of course. Well, thank you so much, Chita. It's always a pleasure getting to chat with you. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so helpful for so many other moms who are trying to find their way to make it all work. So thank you so much.
I want to hear from y'all, and we need to get together, Ashley. Our boys. I'm telling you, because you haven't really been around my son, but I've been around yours, and they play really well. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Maverick would absolutely love that. And by the way, I told Maverick I was talking to you today, and he's like, Miss Chita with the umbrella, and I was like,
oh, yes. I can't even believe he remembers.
He remembers. He remembers. Every time we see a billboard of you, he's like, I know her.
Oh, what a sweet. You have the sweetest boy. So well-mannered. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you have a crazy busy schedule, but thank you for joining the Cold Coffee Club.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It was great to see you, even over Zoom.
Right. It's always fun to talk to Chita. She and I actually
so fun.
Yeah, she's the best. Oh my gosh. I did a promo commercial with KHOU with her and my son Maverick, and my son still talks about her. He's like, how's Miss Chita? What's she doing? And every time we see a billboard of her, he's like, I know her.
I know that lady. That's so cute.
Yeah, she's so
that was awesome. Thank you, Chita, for joining us. That was so great. That was so, we love having special guests on, and we love it, especially when it's people that we will get to like do that too, where we point on our screens and go, we know her.
Yes.
So awesome.
So we're going to roll right into our cream and sugar. These are our favorite things that we, resources, places, all the things in Houston. So Jenny, tell us what your cream and sugar is for this week.
Okay, so my cream and sugar this week, and this is such a nerdy answer. I'm going to tell you about my favorite urgent care is what I'm going to do. But they have 22 locations all over Houston, so I feel like this can apply. And I also want to clarify, this is not an ad or a commercial. No one is paying me to say this. I really just feel this strongly. I have had in the last 30 to 60 days, multiple times that we have had to go to this place, once for my son and once for my daughter and once for me. Mm-hmm. It's Next Level Urgent Care, and they have an app, and you get in line really fast. And then they text you when it's time to come. So they're like, if you can't be seen for an hour, then, they're like, you don't need to come sit here for, and so they'll text you. And then, but every time I needed it, I drive straight there, and they see me immediately. And it is just the easiest process. And it is the most comfortable. I just love them there. And I have really strongly, yes, have your regular doctors, but this has been if it's a Sunday morning or, something like that. So Next Level Urgent Care, I strongly recommend, and I love their app. And this is such an old lady moment to be my recommendation is an urgent care. But yes, I love the next levels. No one is paying me to say that. Okay. What is your cream and sugar this week?
That is need to know information. So thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. My cream and sugar is a book called Lot, and it's Lot: Stories, and it's written by Brian Washington, and he's a writer from Houston. Okay. And these are stories of a young man kind of finding his place among family and community in Houston. And so I just recently checked out this book, and I love great writers. I love especially stories that I can kind of relate to. I have 3 boys growing up in Houston. Yes. And it was okay, well, this is perfect. So definitely check out his book. He's a great writer, great emerging writer. So it was.
Yay. Put the link in the show notes too, so people can just click that button to check it out. Love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay,
let's talk about our house blend, which that's when we discuss our favorite things on Houston Moms, our website. And we want to talk about our guides, because that is our most popular content anyway. But we have some really great guides up right now. One of them is our camp guide is up right now, our summer camp guide. And we're not talking just about like sleepaway camps where your kids go away for a week and sleep in a cabin. We're also talking about like day camps for the summer. So like art camps, karate camps, acting camps, things like that. We have it all in one place. So you click this link, you go there, you can go look at registration dates, age parameters, all the different websites are all right there. So it's kind of like a one-stop shopping guide for you to find the best camps for your kiddos this summer. So check that out. It's always one of our most popular guides each year.
Yeah. And sticking with the guides, our April guide is up, and there are all kinds of fun events happening in Houston this month, and great places to take your kids. Some are free, some are super cheap. So it'll be a lot of fun for you to fill up your calendar this month. And then also it's Bluebonnet season, and we have a guide for all kinds of great places you can go to see the Bluebonnets, go take pictures, some best practices to make sure that you're not stomping all over flowers and ruining it for the next person. I'm already planning a trip to go see Bluebonnets because every year I take updated like headshots for my kids, and I just do them myself real quick. And I figured Bluebonnets, that's perfect for doing our headshots this year. So definitely check out both guides. Check out all three guides, the camp guides, the April guide, and the Bluebonnets guide. You'll have all kinds of fun this April.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap up, but we always wrap up with the fun fact. And this fact, I don't know if it's necessarily fun, but it's certainly true. So in 2013, a study out of the UK observed young children and recorded the questions they asked the adults around them. The children tended to turn to their mothers for answers, and moms ended up answering an average of nearly 300 questions per day, or one question every 2.5 minutes. So our children are asking an average of 300 questions a day, which I believe it. And I think that's true of one of my kids. And then my other kid, I think it's closer to like 450.
Yep.
That's going to be my guess. One kid, yes, to the 300. The other one, I feel like we are above and beyond. We need to know all of it. But yes,
that is so stinking true. It hurts. Oh my God.
Well, anyways, thank y'all for joining us, and we will see you next week. Thanks for joining the Cold Coffee Club. Y'all have a great one.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cold Coffee Club, brought to you by Houston Moms. We wish you a fabulous week with your families and look forward to sharing many more cups of cold coffee with you.